Hey, hi everybody. So, I wish I could say I was going to go surfing or something, but I'm not. I'm actually off to take care of some business, but that's okay. I wanted to talk about how funny things work, you know? We were talking about quantum physics, the law of frequency, which is what I wrote my book on, again, is frequency, and how that you can actually use the laws of quantum physics to like create things in your life, like really things that are like magically divine. Okay, so check this out. Because one of the things I found out is that one of our biggest problems is why we don't manifest a lot of things, because most people are wishing for money, okay? And the problem with that is like money just doesn't come in because nobody really just loves money. People love the things they can do with money, right? Okay? So that's your big clue, that you have got to focus on what you love, okay? I forget this too, and the other thing I also do, and a lot of people do, is they go on autofocus, okay? Or autopilot, as I call it. So in other words, you know, they just get up and they go through their day and they don't really intend anything that they want. They don't really think about or point their ship in any one direction, so they don't seem to have any results. So one of the things you have to do is actually put an intention toward what you want your day to look like every day. And in fact, the Eastwatch, too, he had a great video on this, and he talked about writing it down the night before, which is great also, because then you kind of put it in your subconscious mind. But I just wanted to remind you, like, catch yourself when you're like, all of a sudden you're on autopilot, and you're like, hey, I'm not even focusing my life in any direction or toward anything. So long story short, focus on what you love, not on the money, right? So I was thinking about that, and I'm like, well, what do I really want? If I had a lot of money, what would I want to do with it? And I started thinking, I'm like, I really want to travel. I really want to travel exotic places and have incredible adventures, you know, like, I don't know, track the Amazon, things like that, right? Just something out there, way on the edge. And so, you know, I was, you know, dwelling on that instead of the money, on the travel, right? And so all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get contacted by an old high school friend of mine who's now like a big pilot. He's flying all over the place to Dubai and you know, he was going to Beijing, and I was like, you know, and he's telling me these stories, and I'm just like started focusing even more clearly on how much I really wanted to go see the world, you know, and the different things and the different people and different cultures and just things I've never seen, things that are different, things that are not my usual, because it's really good if you can shake the spirit up and do something different. That's when your spirit gets really happy, when you get it doing something it never does, you know, because we get stuck in these little ruts, and you know what they say about ruts, you know, the only difference between a rut and a grave is the depth of the hole. Yeah, it can be like that, you know, even if you have a life you love, just the monotony of doing the same thing, it doesn't challenge your spirit. It's like reading the same book all the time, right? It's like, yeah, it's great, but you need to expand. Anyway, long story short, so I was like, oh, this is a great sign, you know? Here I am focusing on travel, and then my friend comes in and starts telling me all about this travel all over the world, and then a girl from mine walks into the door of where I was, and she was looking amazing, right? And I'm like, wow, what happened to you? Something great happened to you, huh? And she was like, oh my God, Linda, it's life-changing. You don't know. And I said, what? And she's like, I was on this new show, like Survivor, and they took me out in the middle of nowhere, this exotic place, and I had to do things I've never done before, like bungee jumps. She couldn't tell me anything because they have to sign all these, you know, non-disclosure acts and stuff, and it's going to be on in you know, spring, I guess. And I was like, wow, I'm like, that's exactly what I've been wishing for. I'm like, I've been wishing for that. I mean, that sounds amazing, where you get taken out into the, you know, the depths of nowhere, out there. I mean, the kind of vacation that would cost you $10,000, right, to go in the middle of nowhere. And then she grabs my hand. She's like, oh my God, I can get you on the next show. And I'm like, what? She goes, I can get you on the next show. I can get you on the next show. They will love you, and I can guarantee I can get you on the next show. So it looks like now the way this is manifested, again, I might say with no money, in fact, she couldn't tell me, but it sounds like she might have won some money too, wouldn't that be a perk? I get the trip I want and I come home with cash. It's like, hallelujah. I mean, that would be, talking about high frequency, right? And so anyway, that's what I'm gonna do, I guess. I'm gonna go on this Survivor show. I'm not sure when, sometime next year, and go someplace amazing and do like really amazing different things, and it looks like I manifested it with no money. So guys, you know, don't let people tell you that's witchcraft. That's, you know, the divine force working in your favor, man. Law of attraction. The bad guys can use it, the good guys can use it. Use it to bring love and peace and unity to the world. And in the meantime, you know, manifest some things you love instead of just trying to use money, because then you're really using faith. And I just gotta tell you, when things start to come through, I got chills. I'm like, oh, because it's like, it's so easy to get money and go out and buy a ticket, right? But when, like, God delivers you what you've been asking for in this bizarre way, like random girl comes in and is like, I can get you on a new Survivor-like show. It's like, hello? Would I have ever even thought of that? No. And that's why it's even better, because it like opens you up to the amazement of the divine, you know, how you never know how it'll come. You never know how God's going to work. Anyway, I'm pretty stoked about that, and I just wanted to share it with you, because if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. So I just wanted to remind you, keep your ship pointed in the direction you want to go, and things don't always come through with money. So don't focus on the money. Focus on what you want, whatever it is you want. World peace, I focus on that a lot. World peace and, you know, harmony and abundance for the world. But, you know, try it in your own life too, you know? I don't know, let me know. Come back and let me know how it's going for you. Okay, bye everybody.